Good morning everyone. Welcome to final project presentation for Band 120. My name is Karan Chaudhary and this is Group 4. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Preeti for giving us this opportunity, and then my project mates for their valuable contribution to this project. So without further ado, let's move forward. Hello all. Due to some technical errors, I wasn't able to upload Disha's presentation for identification of problems part. So instead, I'm just going to upload mine. Let's begin. So we all know that Nedbank was operating in a challenging market in 2015. South Africa's economy was also slow, and they had a shocking unemployment rate of 27%. With a 20% share of purchasing industry in South Africa, Nedbank was exploring for options to expand, but they were running into some problems. Let's look at the problems in more details. The first one is innovating with data. Now we can see that the points inside this innovation are commoditizing of the cards and payment business units, lack of customer focus, and lack of customer engagement. It is very true that you have to dig deep into data and analytics part to look for customer information, and hence there was a lack of customer focus and customer engagement. Next is commercializing a data product, in which we can see that there was lack of confidence and knowledge in sales and marketing team, as they didn't know without the implementation of model how much data they were gathering and what steps they needed to take to increase the sales. The next is marketing strategies and expenses. Executives were ready to spend more in order to change the image of Nedbank, which was till then deemed as a bank for elites. They wanted to be a bank for all, and for that they needed new and fresher approaches in market strategies and needed resources to do that. Next is four-dimensional financial data. Here we can see that the four-dimensional financial data, which is often known as 4 cubed, was implemented so that the bankers have all the information about the client's bank transaction, and they can separate one customer from other customer with the help of this model. The next set of challenges included generation of revenue and increase in profit. Now we all know that the client retention and attracting new customers was obviously going to be a policy, since they wanted to be a bank for all. And improvement of customer experience was obviously a main target as well, because they wanted customers to get back to them and not leave Nedbank for any other bank. Security is another key important, because customers know and they also want security in their financial transactions and don't want to get scammed in the bank's policies. This is where fraudulent work in banks come into focus, and it involves heavy sanctioning as well as money laundering. These operations are so undercover but right under the noses of the customers, and they are losing quick money even without noticing it. The last point is no single technology to cover all bases, and this involves hiring or partnering with fintech professionals who can analyze all the data available with the customers and provide new insights and valuable information by digging deep into the data. That's all for the problem of identification part. Next is decision criteria. Thank you. Hello all. So decision criteria. We all know that it plays a huge role in planning out future goals for any company. Similarly, for Nedbank, they know what models to implement, that is market edge, 4 cube, and customer engagements. But what are the impact and how to implement these models so that the transition goes smoothly? Well, that is where a decision criteria comes into effect. So here are some key decision criteria. Client value proposition. Nedbank executives wants to know and understand their customers' behavior better. Understanding them will give Nedbank a chance to provide a better proposition and offer to their clients. Next, client-centered loyalty and reward programs. To become a bank for all, Nedbank needs to make certain changes, and that is where their decision to improve and give personalized deals were taken by RBB to ensure that they convert unbanked customers into net bank customers and lure them with loyalty and reward programs. Next, process improvements. Now, we all know that implementing these models such as market edge, 4-cube, and customer engagement are a challenge. That being said, the process improvements are being done as the company is transitioning by adapting a web-based analytics platform. This process helps them implement these models with ease. Next is employee efficiency. Now, we all know that making data is just a beginning, and the employees need to be efficient as well as familiar with the concepts to make the most out of it. In 2015, the bank conducted a formal readiness sales program at 55 branches and used role plays so that the bankers can know and learn to interpret and use the report data and the information that they collect from the customers. This decision proved to be beneficial as it yielded into a higher customer satisfaction as well as a reduced staff turnover from 15 to 17%. Next is the data-oriented approach. Now, NetBank's main goal is to understand customer behavior, and for that, data analytics is very crucial. As company decides to be more data-oriented, they have to make sure that bank dives deep into data and focuses more resources on the data research, which will help them give some answers. It can also help them find some missing links between organizations, employees, as well as the relationship with other suppliers. So, a thorough approach to farm the data and gain valuable insights will help NetBank achieve their targets. This decision will prove fruitful as many companies are transitioning into a more data-oriented approach.
Good morning all. So before jumping into the analysis section, so let's see what are the top reasons banks use Go for artificial intelligence. So it's basically for data analysis and to gain more insights on it, to increase their productivity, and of course in terms of cost benefits and savings. And moving on to the next slide quickly. So what are the effects of AI in banking service? So as per the Accenture surveys, the road towards the banks moving towards AI is what has been suggested here. Like 79% say it will enable increase the interaction capabilities. It will with their customers and increase customer experience. So it shows a positive sign for AI in the banking sector itself. So moving on to the trends. So the major trends to be summarized quickly is like it's related to data. So it makes more sense to whatever data that is available. They can sell the data to their merchant clients. It helps them to like integrate it with the dashboards to gain more insights, and it also helps them to create a chatbot that will serve as a first layer of point of contact for its customer service. And AI will also enable fraud detection and to detect any suspicious behavior in the transactions or in a customer account. So moving on to the weaknesses, like if you see, like it has a very complicated architecture, AI in its sense, and integrating it with a legacy system would be very difficult, and deducing the results sometimes is also said to be very difficult. Of course, all this is going to need you involve a lot of expenses. So investment is also one other concern. So if you see opportunities, there are a number of opportunities for AI in banking sector. Say a bank needs to study a market for new market study and analysis, for formatting the data that is available and suggesting products and services of a bank to our customers. And studying the customer behavior in order for them to send personalized marketing or sales related mails to the customer, and of course in detecting any fraud related activities in a customer account. So last is the threats. So when it comes to threats, the very first thing comes to mind is the data privacy. So how much we extract our customers' data is very much important. Malfunction and lack of efficiency and lack of transparency is one of the main thing that is a threat when it comes to AI. And of course, the biggest hurdle for banks is investing and maintaining in software and hardware to enable this AI services. That's pretty much it for me on the analysis part. Thank you.
My name is Kushpit and I am going to explain the alternative part of this template. So NetBank has expanded its business in South Africa and further aiming to expand in coming years. They are using some technique as market edge and 4 cube dimension in order to attract the merchants and clients. They can also go with more alternative as hiring data analysts, making website, designing applications for every generation, more branches in every area and providing bank services. Further we go with these points one by one. First one is creating website for the banks, as nowadays people are more busy in their own life and they do not have time to stand in the lines for hours in front of the bank. So banks can create the website for each branch which will provide information about the available services, opening hours, branches, location and the customer reviews. This will help the customer to know more about the bank. Next one is hiring data analysts. That nowadays every company knew that to protect the customer data should be their first priority. So for this, bank should hire some data analysts that will ensure that the customer data is secure and they can arrange the client's data appropriately. This will further help them to make the policies and plans very easily. And the next one is to appropriate use of artificial intelligence, as we know that today is the time of digitalization, so having online transaction is very important. So banks should come with new ways to provide online transaction, and they should also offer some kind of offers as coupons or vouchers that will encourage client to use such tools more appropriately. Next one is satisfying customers of every age group. For that, there should be some kind of sources and techniques application that will help the old age as well as the teenagers to use the bank account and to save their money. By this, the teenagers will learn the value of the money and the banks can have more accounts in their branches, and by this they would be able to expand their business on a large scale. Thus, in conclusion, by using all these alternatives, NetBank would be able to expand their business on a large scale and they can satisfy their customer more appropriately. Thank you.
Hello all. Now we can see how artificial intelligence can be implemented in banking sector. Although artificial intelligence has acquired the interest of many businesses, the implementation has to face few practical difficulties. Some of the prerequisites to implement the artificial intelligence are accurate data. Artificial intelligence requires data. So the customer data should be accurate and suffice to analyze and find insights for planning strategies. Also, this data should be stored in cloud-based storage so that we can analyze in real time. So we can get a quick decision after analyzing the customers when they visit us. So next is partnering with tech companies. Not only the implementation but also the after sales training and support are required for successful installation of bots and AI based tools. Bank alone cannot build these highly efficient tools like AI chatbots. So partnering with a tech company will help them to reduce the cost. Next is solution for potential risk. So we have to face many difficulties after implementing. Like we can say malfunctions and errors. Then if that system does not work properly, and sometimes cyber attacks will be there. So we have to find a solution. We have to find a set of solutions if this occurs. So it can be tackled easily.
Good morning, all. Let's go through some recommendations that we have written for the case of NetBank. First would be extensively integrate partner training teams to improve sales skills for the sales team. Second would be associate with recruitment firms to hire the right people, so that makes it easy for the company to make the employees understand that what the customer needs. After that, invest in analytical tools to generate visually appealing and simpler outputs, so that the customers, the end user of our data, is easily able to understand what we want to say to them, what we want to convey to the customer. Extensively integrate various teams to use the data effectively, and applying artificial intelligence and big data to organize the business model.